The story of the birth of our son has a sad ending. When I decided that I wanted to have a child, I told a trusted friend. She said, "When I birthed my babies, it was just my partner and I present, nobody else." This idea is now called Freebirth. It was radical, sure, but it made sense. My early pregnancy was routine. When I was 20 weeks, I made an appointment with the midwives at the Women's Health Center and was completely honest about my decision to free birth. They understood why I wanted to do it, but they did not approve or encourage me. As I approached 42 weeks, the midwives became increasingly worried about me, but I refused induction. Nothing appeared to be wrong at any point besides the fact that I hadn't gone into labor yet. My intention was still to free birth at home without drugs or the presence of a midwife or doctor, but I had accepted the likelihood that I would end up delivering in the hospital. I made several appointments to induce, but canceled them at the last minute, thinking, I'll just wait a couple more days. Mentally, I was a wreck. I dove to the internet looking for stories of 42+ weeks pregnancies. It led me to a group of women online who all went past 42 weeks. They gave me the confidence that I needed, as well as lots of ideas about how to induce naturally. Eventually, my water broke. I was 44 weeks and 5 days, almost 5 weeks past my due date. Labor was intense. It was truly magical to be in my own space, in and out of water, in a dark room with my own music. It was just me, my husband, and my best friend who was a trained doula. Labor picked up and became very, very intense and painful. I had a couple of long contractions that lasted a full hour with no breaks. A pocket of water broke and I saw meconium in the waters. Now I knew something was wrong and I went to the hospital. They immediately checked the baby and couldn't find a heartbeat. He was gone and there was nothing they could do. But what they were saying was impossible. My baby died. I was just pregnant for 10 months and I don't get to take my baby home or raise my son. My body killed him? Failed him? Feelings of guilt washed over me and my husband. We failed to protect our son before he even had gotten to take a breath of fresh air. I wanted a free birth for my baby no matter what. I was so sure and confident that I didn't listen to doctors or midwives. They told me that first babies are harder to deliver and riskier. They told me that going past 42 weeks makes it harder to deliver and riskier, but I did not believe them. I started to tailor my internet experience and only take in the information that I wanted to hear. I think I brainwashed myself with the internet. My views became extreme and my distrust of a hospital birth experience became rock solid. I obsessively listened to podcasts and stories of women who birthed their babies at home with no help from medical professionals. They became my heroes. I was part of several private Facebook groups where women talked about unassisted childbirth. The group was full of successful stories. Not a single woman in the group had lost their baby, but after I lost mine, the first thing I did was leave the group. After we gave birth, I held him in my arms and cried for hours. He was so beautiful and perfect. He had a head full of hair and he was so cute with chubby cheeks. I will always remember how heavy he felt in my arms. I ended up with all the things I tried to avoid with a hospital birth. I took the epidural and the Pitocin and the anti-nausea medicine. The hospital staff was kind. They didn't shame me. They tried to comfort me. Next time, I won't be afraid to go to the hospital. I had been lucky all my life. My first experience with grief was having to grieve my own son. We lived in a small, close-knit community. We packed our bags and moved to a town where we didn't know a single person. My husband and I released each other from guilt. We don't blame each other, but that doesn't stop the feeling of guilt from creeping back into our heads. Nobody could know what would have happened if I had gotten induced at 42 weeks. We will always wonder what if.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.